I saw a vehicle parked in front of me and the people were surrounding it.
16 passenger van
horned so that it could move, so that I could pass, but it did not move.
Then I divert.
Then so I diverted to a side to pass.
All of a sudden, one group in atenda pintela motoka.
So some cattle were coming.
Ni wol tambita idunta abuko kono.
When those pass and get inside Abuko, then we could pass.
I was trying to explain. In fact,
the boy who was standing in front of my vehicle, I tried to explain to him, telling him that I am not well. I am trying to rush to catch up with the ferry because I was going to the hospital.
In which language did you speak to him?
In Mandinka.
Was he able to respond to you in Mandinka?
For another silo soro no labanke jabe ni ngo kankili mo labam memo Mandinka kangote ba.
Ala jabiro beke ta kuma kamalti don nendro le me beke la tenni de lo foni sole tambi.
Their responses were just insults and they were
to you in the Mandinka language.
Yes.
Proceed.
Nka ko ni solte na time waste la ni fere la me batala no sama so man danyanta findila utano to.
I told him that the cattle will not waste my time because if I should wait it will disturb me because I'm supposed to appear at the hospital the next morning. I am on the oath and I'm saying exactly how the statement was made.
So
So they refused. So they dismissed me up. They could not hit me by raising their hands and hit me but they were taken.
From which direction?
Fanna Jumala.
Motola parantero mimbe jama from any on the other side because what we are baby jirin.
At the side windows.
It's mom one sile.
There could be up to 20 people.
Boy Jamal ni kantala ni green boys or thing.
There were many boys.
Why? How did it happen that all of them converged on you? You were speaking to only one person.
The time he was coming, the others were already standing in front of the vehicle. That was how they stopped the vehicle so that it would not move on. So he came to the window trying to talk to me. But this on my neck, on my shoulders, on both hands.
Just, were they big or small sticks?
Hard cattle. Some of them had knobs at the end. Not at the end.
Proceed.
After that happened, there was a lot of talk. Some of them opened one of the front doors. They held my hand. The other one came, opened the other door. I tried to free myself from this other guy who held me. I held the jar. These ones cannot drag me out of the vehicle from the left-hand side. Because it is more convenient for me to alight from that end.
In that way, on
the occasion of the TRRC feast. But that Sunday, early Sunday, I gave out a charity for one of my older brothers. It was a knife I used to slaughter the animal and also to flay it. So I did not return it tightly. My hand touched the knife. And in that tense situation, I put my hand around this guy's head and tried to pin him to the steering wheel. I took the knife and I said to him, and I'm telling you exactly what I said to him. I said to him, I can slaughter you now. But I am not.
How did you know?
I've tried and freed his head from my grip. He said in Wolof, he's holding a knife.
That new petrol station, Abuko Nature Reserve Law Comfort.
At that time, they had put some car tires.
Where were the cattle? Have they crossed the road or they were still crossing?
Nyin tembenna nyin ninsol ile fo wato la fo e silo ya kundu la bang fo wato e man silo kundu folo
o fitino wato ninsol na tere dunta.
That at that time the vehicles, the cattle had already come in. They had already gone in.
Was there any need for your vehicle to be blocked from continuing, as at the time you had this final encounter with the boys?
Fo sulo benu njele ba wato la puru yetela moto nyi bantambila nyato wato men na itene nyin kamba no nyin albe o nyo sababu wicho men wa ko ke kan wato men
sulatije be lori wodlato.
The distance where the cattle were and where we were standing, I could have gone up to Abuko or the petrol station and the cattle would not have arrived at the time.
So they were far away?
They were far away. When the car lights, if you look in front, you'll see the dust and the shape of the cattle coming, but they were far off.
Yes, proceed, please.
Kabirim futata abukolo wo essentiel dalaje.
When I got to the Abuko petrol station, I alighted. I went off the road a little bit so that those car tires would be taken out of from under the vehicle. Then I proceeded to Yundum to pick my belongings.
Banjulinding police station.
When I got to the Banjulinding police station,
at this stage, did you have an idea who are the people you had an encounter with?
Fo tambola. Fo anara ne les isondo moto la bang kay tandila ko itani wo mol meo nyo sabo soto jumal la moldi.
O wato mimbe nyo sabo be kering ngaje don ko fula kantar lalle muyti.
At the time that at the time that tussle was happening, what I thought was these were just cattle herders.
Did you at that stage know who owned the cattle?
Fo tambola anar ne son no moro kay tandila ko jumalata mo ni solti.
Kabano ka fole ko yala ni solle katambi.
Yes, the boy was saying Yaya's cattle are passing.
So which Yaya was he referring to?
Abe Yaya Jumalao.
Yaya Jammeh,
former president of the Republic.
All right. And when you arrived at Abuko, the police stopped you?
Yeah, Banjulinding police station.
Banjulinding police station. What happened next?
Manakita, bili fudra Banjulinding police station or the police or lote nyaro.
he said to me, where are your documents?
I
removed them and handed over to him the license and the insurance. He asked and handed it to him. He said to me, did you have any trouble with people along the way? I said to him, yes, and he said, I'm told to arrest you.
Okay.
I told him, well, I'm going to my house to pick up my belongings. When I come, we can go to the station.
No need.
He wanted to come into the vehicle, and I told him it was not necessary. Since you have my particulars, just allow me to go home and I'll come.
Did he tell you who asked him to arrest you?
No, we did not.
Entertain.
We didn't discuss that. He didn't entertain that.
Proceed.
I left him at the station, went home, picked my bag and my towel, and returned back to the station and found him there. He boarded the vehicle and I took him to the Abuko station.
Because ako silo kana ko Abuko station le sulatela.
Because along the way he told me that you are needed at the Abuko station.
Futata?
We arrived.
Eso membije.
SO that was there said to me, you have a problem with people, some people. I told him yes.
Kanilai family farm. Kanilai family farm.
He said to me, Kanilai family farm.
Okay.
Let me call them so that they can come. I put him in, he boarded my vehicle. I took him along to the Buko intersection so that we could bring these people to come along with them.
Okay, ntolbenyi lendo ka minkata itolni trakito fa ibinanyi lendo ka kwenye kwa ifeleti kana ntonta ni abatu station.
We are on the right lane going, and they were coming also on the other lane and full they were in a tractor. And he said, "Here they come," and so we took a turn and we came along.
Okay, kabili futata station auto. Idundana bedundana station okono minu kuntaje because amang warabake minu kuntaje wol dundana.
When they arrived, they got into the station because the station is not very wide. So those who could fit came inside. They asked me.
Ila timo miya lead Badu Bojang.
The one that led the team, Badu Bojang.
Which team are you referring to?
The group that came.
This Kanilai family farm group.
The Kanilai family farm group. It was there that I knew that these were people of the Kanilai family farm. Amongst them were green boys and the others were ex-soldiers who herded cattle for Yaya.
Story in the side of the story explain because what you tell you complain or fabant.
So I explained my side of the story, but before that they had already lodged their complaint and all that was written down.
Then that Mr. Bojang Konyako Kabra Kumola my father Dr. Misunderstanding on his words.
Misunderstanding. And these are his words.
H ile ko ngani solo sambanange dundi abuko puru samanga di mola lelatul khadri.
She said that we should bring these cattle and take them to Abuko so that tomorrow we can distribute them for the feast. I said, I don't have any connection with the cattle. These people just pounce on me and they brutalize me. There was tension was about to arise there and a lot of talk, but he calmed the situation.
Then natabulo di nyola I read penta I filed buko rule.
Then we shook hands and he took a red pen and ruled.
And what did that signify to you?
Atendiko kumo bantal case ning ya cancel.
To signify that everything is over, the case has been cancelled.
Nimini benyo dala including Badu ngabulo di nyobulo.
Those that we were close together with, including Bado, we shook hands. At the time I was coming, I came along with one Sirifo. We were supposed to go to Dakar together, but he was outside. I picked him and we shook hands with the SO and I told him that we are proceeding to Dakar. That was how we went, and luckily we met the ferry and we crossed. So coming when kola not impact nyin kalamuta nanyin be kuliata fo ayitita na dendi ko kono ntongo jam fana yitita. But after the incident I experienced some pain, some swellings on my arms, my neck. My head too was injured, it was swollen. The Sirifo told me, you are injured. I said, well, let's just leave everything in the hands of God. I said, because during the time of this problem, anything could have happened, but God gave me a calm mind and I was able to get out of it free. We took our laissez-passer at Hamdallah. I took it to the police to have it registered.
After registration, there's this ASP ALH Ceesay.
After the registration, there was an ASP called ALH Ceesay.
Nabelorin banta. I was sure, but attention dal telephone.
I don't know whether his telephone rang or it was on vibration, but somehow his attention was drawn to his telephone.
I
heard him say ALH Ceesay.
Abuko Station.
Abuko Station.
Okay, Kanilai Family Farm. Ala what so?
Kanilai Family Farm, and these were his words.
Then Abafokan, yes sir, okay sir, yes sir, okay sir.
Then he was saying yes sir, okay sir, yes sir, okay sir.
I telephone Olani.
He placed the telephone.
Konye dombai, hana defa am nyo jotel siyon.
And said to me, my relative in Wolof, did you have any problems with people along the way?
Understanding now.
I said to him, yes, but the case has ended because they said it was only a misunderstanding. Okay.
Then
Then he told me to take my vehicle inside. Where I was, my vehicle was parked and the Senegalese side of the border. The distance was just like from where I am. And there's nothing in front of me that can stop me from crossing the border. But I had this mindset that since I have done nothing wrong to anybody,
police station or quarters to je.
I turned the vehicle and parked inside at the police headquarters.
So yen sorong o cage kono.
The
immigration like cage mimbe Amdalai police post to je.
So they locked me at the cage.
In the cell.
In the cell at the immigration.
Mandu cell of kono.
I did not.
Cage le follow soto. Giria solem.
I did not go into the cell. You know you have a cage.
It is still a cell, but go ahead.
Yes, okay, thank you for clarifying. I
was there the whole night. Till morning.
Yeah, one jobate. Something jobate.
There was one jobat, not dressed in uniform, he was in plain clothes. That day, it rained heavily. I started my vehicle, took him on board, and we went.
But almost 3 hours.
We got to the terminal, and we spent about 3 hours waiting for the ferry. He went upstairs, and I was in the vehicle waiting for him. He was sleeping beside me, and everything was very easy for me to go on my own business, but I didn't do anything.
They treated the matter as a state matter.
They treated the matter as a state matter.
Then, ferry nata a priority dinna nduntanyato.
So when the ferry arrived, we were given a priority, and we boarded in front.
Data for Abuko Station. Cabin ferry landed on Delta State Abuko Station.
When the ferry landed, we went straight to the Abuko Station.
And hand over, that was coming 4, 5, 6, 5 miles from there, around 5.
And he handed me over between 4 and 5 in the evening.
At a tonta.
He returned.
Then I
said to the SO, I said to him, I did not sleep overnight. I requested to be allowed to go home and rest and return after breaking the fast. He said, Doctor, that is not a problem.
Why do they call you doctor?
In Africa,
well, you know, here in Africa, even if you only carry out injection or give out paracetamol, you are identified as a doctor.
So, that
name also is one. That name is one that is frequently used, to identify me. If I were to have a third name, that is a name it would be. Sorry that I did not mention this earlier on. I started my vehicle and went home.
Were you released? Were you granted bail at that time?
There was no discussion. at the 10, before any judgment, there was no talk, there was no talk yet. What brought me until around 7, and I broke fast. I prayed the 7 p.m. prayers, and I slept again, lay down again. Almost around 9. I woke up around 9. I picked up the telephone. I called the SO. I asked him, are you still at the station? He said, no, I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm going ahead of you. And I said, well, I'm going ahead of you. I started my vehicle. I told my wife that I'm going out and coming back. I went to the station. Between 10 minutes or so, the SO came. He said, wait for me, let me call these people so that they can come and we discuss this issue. Okay. I said, okay. Within 10 minutes, Mitsubishi Pajero dark glasses. We made a call, and within 10 minutes, a Mitsubishi vehicle came in with tinted glasses. 2 individuals alighted. Gambia Kung Fu la President Yala. Gambia Kung Fu Association la President Yala. One of them I knew while I was president of the Gambia Kung Fu Association. Black belt city at inaugurate la. I was the one who awarded him the black belt when he was inaugurated. Wonata aning keodo minga fana londe se common person to me kafa Liz Gomez, the late Liz Gomez. He came with some other person I knew also called Liz Gomez, the late Liz Gomez.
Did they both work for the same institution?
Yes, yes, I later knew that this Ibu was also with the NIA. The time I knew Liz was in the NIA because we usually met. And then, we greeted. They went inside and called the ESO. 1 or 2 minutes, ESO after 1 or 2 minutes, the ESO called me. Liz Ceesay family farm. Said you are the one who had a problem with the people of the Kanilai family farm. I said yes. He said they told me to pick you up. I said to him, where are you taking me? He said NIA. Okay. I said okay. They started their vehicle and I started my vehicle and I went and I followed them. Data for last second to last petrol station before Stinkono, can you follow? We went until when we reached Joshua before the petrol station where there is a garage. It was raining. Their vehicle, which was ahead of me, signaled to the right. I also signaled. They parked and I parked, leaving a distance between us. That man I told you, I tied his black belt called Ibusanya.
I awarded him the black belt called Ibusanya.
He alighted. He came and sat in front of my vehicle. The other one proceeded and we followed after him. He said to me, well, Ceesay, you just have to be patient. You know, these people and their things. I said, what's happening? What is going on? What's going on? He said, nothing, but you know, these people, their things are too much. I told him, let's leave everything with God. We proceeded like that until we got into the NIA. Their vehicle went in and I also followed them in. He parked on the left. And the man told me, stand this other side. We all alighted.
Lis konyako ila bagasolle ila kaytolle.
Lis said to me, where are your belongings? Where are your documents?
Konya di ñun la tabulo to ja.
He said, give to these people here at the desk.
So na back in dole bambul na kaytol ni information ne loftan kaytol ni fewol bebe ala na boro bo kono dum.
I had a small bag, my papers, my documents, and my medication were all there.
So ngaw kayto ngaw back in dota ngadi ala.
So I took the small bag and handed it over to him. They asked me, do you not have anything inside your pockets? I said no. Where are your telephones? And I told them, here they are.
Okay,
Then Lee said to me, till tomorrow. Tomorrow you and I are going to discuss. I said to him, am I spending the night here? He said to me, yes, tomorrow, as soon as I come, we will discuss.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Do mimbe guards mimbe.
So the guards that were there, one of them said to the others, take him to that other cell there. I told him that when I am in a tight place, I used to suffocate, and sometimes I almost faint. He told me, when you come here, you are not always doing things according to your will.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Yen Samba.
They took me.
Yen dundi NIA konotola ntata kofta bulubala la dote de natandundi bundo kona cage bunda flale balateng.
They took me inside the NIA and into a room which had a door, cage-like looking.
Sita mang situation no mirano mang alhalo landino nyama.
I sat down and I could not come to understand everything that was happening around me. So it was like a dream to me. I couldn't understand. It shook me. It was beyond what I could actually come to perceive. I got up and decided to pray. Standing, when I smelled it, it was the smell of urine. There was another one there, empty, standing there. I was confused as to how to perform my ablution.
This was around about 11:30
Then I heard the doors opening and the sound was approaching me. This was around 11. They removed the chain and they opened the door. The guard said to me, Ceesay, come and answer here. You are needed here by some people. He proceeded and I followed after him.
Okay. He took
me upstairs and we got to a big hall just as this place is. People were sitting in front, but there were rows of seats on the sides. When he opened the door, when we arrived, he opened the door and I got inside and I faced them. The lights were on.
For us, for use, bang, I told her for that. Either us or use, but it sounds like that.
There was a deep voice I heard say, us or use.
Okay, the light.
Said to him, the lights.
From the group, na benta sirangol tema.
So that guy walked from the group and we met in the middle of where the chairs were arranged.
How was the person dressed?
Ordinary clothes. My uniform ordinary clothes. He was dressed in. So we gave each other way and we passed. As I was getting to these people, he put off the lights. So they put on their telephones and they turned them over so that I could not recognize them.
Okay. I
sat down, but they did not identify who they were. They told me to sit down, and I sat down. They surrounded me.
Did you know who asked you to sit down?
Yes, after the incident, I came to realize that it was Pa Bojang.
Telephone on the light.
He was the one who also set the light.
And who is this Pa Bojang?
Yumala nyinyim Pa Bojang toti.
Tel tartanu KGI International.
He was the one at the KGI International.
Did he have any relationship with Yaya Jammeh?
Ani Yaya Jammeh badia ma hadamaya bete malaba.
Hi, ika
Yes, they said his
and what do you mean by KGI?
nephew.
KGI akoto munati.
Kanilai Group International.
Kanilai Group International.
Ila branch benu traffic lights, Karaba Avenue.
Their branch was at the traffic light, Karaba Avenue.
So, insita kuru.
I sat down and they surrounded me.
Ate for telephone and for recorder and bare abelampo malarine, obe signal kanne, akanyininka muneketa.
He was questioning me, but he held something which was signaling. I don't know whether it was a telephone or a recorder.
Nga aketanya menga be fai. Nga mimfoje ye mimfo aketanya meng exactly nga fai wole nya.
I narrated to him exactly what transpired.
Kuma fe wonyi stop.
He stopped that thing he was holding. The four of them went outside.
After what he done wrong,
after a short while, they returned. That slim guy we met with who went to put up the lights, he said to me in Wolof, "You are the one who is against Yaya Jammeh. Undress."
Ndela den ko jimo konka sabadoro bondi yam fufu.
Just as I bended down to remove my shirt,
dolen buro muta dolen buro muta dolen simfulor muta tanting yang muta al hawa kono nyama yang sakindi fonyo kono nyama.
Some held my feet, others held my hand, and I was suspended in the air like that.
Spread eagled and
yes.
Ya kumas wala nyama kalipa fole mulu wala mbare asibulu kon nim fulola kafunyo mo sitenting bara kuliyata do manding.
They started beating me with something which was like a plastic, but if you put two of your fingers, rubber, yes, if you put two of
like
your
fan belt,
something like that, but a tick telenak
stick.
Liparo meta diminta.
The beating took a long time. It was painful.
Nkwaye ko nga mwijin kalte bulu nkanata mbweta luma.
I wiggled myself from their grips and I escaped but fell down.
Mbe ton kanyama kote liparo na ta kote rombulo benda folo busaranga nyimfe ngamuta.
So as I turned, the beatings continued. So
ando amanke ke bambandinti aboytankang akumbalimo bentang nkaro feja.
So I held it so tight because he was not a very powerful guy. As he was trying to pull, he fell on me and his knee hit me on my side.
That heavy voice, stop.
That heavy voice told him to stop. He took it from him. And all that while he was recording, because when they returned, he was continuing the recording.
During that beating, were you crying?
No, I did not cry, but when he told me to release it,
at
that time I was desperate, and I told him that
I was weak.
I was weak, and what I told him was, what you're doing to me is painful.
And I have not done anything to you.
And I have not done anything to you.
Heavy voice,
that was when that heavy voice, that I later come to know to be Pa Bojang's, he told him to stop.
Then
he took the whip from him.
For many times.
You'll see him hitting the carpet for many times.
As he was doing that, where was this recording device?
He held it in his left hand. He had the recorder on his left hand, the whip on his right, and he was beating the carpet. After it took some time, he stopped and stood up.
be wulta ko nyeko nimmiye nyininka ya faye ngeli pale.
So they all got up and he said to me, if you are asked, tell them that we beat you up.
Did that leave any impression with you?
Fo kumba ka nyingi yo mem fo eda fo na kumale tu sondo mo kono ba.
Ha ko min dro ngaje ko li parosi fulan jannole o miro do retartanna ni o masilango le be sirin dron ko li parosi sen kannole woto.
The thought I had was that the beating can be reported, it can be repeated. That was the fear I had.
But how about the hitting of the mat, of the carpet?
Carpet o nyin na lipo nyindu.
Away tandina ay tandina ko coming ay bala faso to nyele na kuma nyato. Ana fula njanga abe oke kan kamole hakilo sabatindi ko abe kule ke kan atara mantara ke kan.
That showed me that he has some sympathy for me, and also to appease someone that he has done.
He is doing something actually when actually he was not doing that.
Doing something when actually he wasn't doing it.
But what about the recording device?
Okuma kantara o nyindu.
Wofana ya tandina ko aka nyin kuma kama halo membe kering aka kuma kama ta aka samba mole wara mole be lamay kanala.
That is to say that what he was doing is either he was recording it for someone to listen to later, or whether that was used as a listening device for someone to actually get to hear what was happening at the material time.
But the reality is you were also tortured.
Yes, I was tortured.
Did you sustain any injuries?
Ha wado nimbar madol be nyola fama min nimi botana abu ko ma mawlo kala ngol folo nyindol nata na ko fana nata be baramata.
For those who are not yet taken care of, these ones also came. And sometimes even my shirt used to stick on my body.
Tata.
They went and left me there. They went out, but one stayed behind. He came behind and put his hand on my neck and said to me, Ceesay, told me, be patient. We have seen the truth, but we cannot do anything about it.
His words.
These are his words. He said,
Jata.
Said his name was Buba Jata.
Okay. Then atata guard ni natang kamma ay lampo malantata.
He went, and then the guard came and put on the light and took me.
From what you say, was the NIA aware, the NIA as an institution, were they aware that you were being tortured?
Fo kome ila kumakawani ya sata janyame. Fo NIA nying ko doku bundalem. Fo wali ya kalamudala ko yesamba jele ki tajire ya ila sansangono jeba.
Ninkini munti. Itolen tabi yennibo.
Who cooked up this thing and they dished it out to me.
They know very well. Itolen samana ila institution auto ila mole fanankandi mole kalipa.
They know it.
Very well.
Because they were the ones that brought me to the institution, and it was the people who handed me over to people who tortured me.
Proceed, please.
Yenjindi woto ata dumala nika finti drong self la benyo balaje yendu ndi killing kono.
They took me down the stairs. As soon as you come out, there were 2 cells, and they put me into one of them.
Does the cell have a name?
Yes. Later, the second day, nata moi God killing ka for do ko tasalo sikana mbamba dinka dato jeba, and then tetambira tasalo la obundato jeba.
It was the following day that I heard one of the guards say to the other, pick up the kettle from Bambadinka. And while I was passing to the cell, I saw the kettle standing there.
That's how I knew the name.
That's how I knew that it was Bambadinka that I was locked in.
Proceed.
And then?
Then
Then they dispersed. I spent the night there like that. Before the guard left, he brought 2 bottles for me. One had water, the other was empty. Said if you are easing yourself, you can use this other one, and the other you can use it for ablution.
It was half torn.
That was when I tried and removed the shirt from my body, which was half torn.
Then sarola for sino yon korinde wato min nangal carton le bije half wet kalkilo be sinan den kalkilo be jare budungal la wala kan o carton la ka wonyam.
That was how I prayed until I got sleepy, and then there was a curtain on the floor which was half wet. That was where I lay on.
Fano ketan nim momam kuma fo momam fem fo nyefanam for almost the same time suto kotake.
Daybreak, nobody spoke to me. I was just like that until almost the same time in the night.
But this was Ramadan time.
Did
yes. You eat?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Mandomorke.
I did not eat.
The following day in name sunte wato.
It was the following day when it was time to breakfast. There were biscuits in the vehicle and my water.
The following day.
I called someone to bring them for me, and that was what I used to breakfast the following day.
Between 11 12
Between 11 and 12 midnight, they came after me again. The door was opened, and the guy said to me, Ceesay, come and answer. People need you.
Who said that to you?
Security. The guard. Security, yes.
The same security?
Yes. He took me upstairs again.
This time, lampo be firing.
This time, the lights were off.
Mammo sute cigarette sisi ole be parim bunkono ane cigarette malol ni mobile min be jimirin duma.
I did not see anybody. I did not recognize anyone. All you had was the scent of cigarette and cigarette lights and mobile lights.
Did you smell any alcohol?
Oh, is fenne serota men kamunta membe munul defe ko dolo.
Yes. Yes. That was in the atmosphere. Yes. For those who were standing over me and beating me, they were smelling of alcohol. As I got to them, they told me to sit down. I think they came with 3 branches when they were coming. Those were the ones that caused me more injuries, because some of them cut my skin, some of them tore through. I was my sticks were all broken, yeah. They got up and they told me that if anybody should ask you, tell them that we have beaten you up. When they were taking me downstairs to take me where they took me earlier, at that time these beaters had already gone. Their vehicle was parked close to my vehicle under the lamp pole. When I was getting into my cell, I saw a black pickup. On the sides was written Junglers.
Either 4 or 5
and there was a row of headlights in front, either 4 or 5. Some of them fell hard. 2 people I saw, the people I saw there, 2 of them were putting on felt caps. Most of the economy along call if anything will do. But the distance of Benny and Tay Halo suit and all. 3 individuals. I slept like that. Also, Manda, the following morning, 6 around 6, in a day, they came and opened the door. Ceesay, are you going to take bath? I said to them, no. What do you need? I told them nothing. They said, okay. One lady came, took the wet curtain, and took the chamber pot. They cleansed the place a little bit. They closed the door. For 9-10 I think around 9 or 10, they called me upstairs again. I found a big table
Siran fula banyato, siran kilimba faye.
2 chairs were in front of it, one was on its own.
God nyen sindi wota ateta.
The guard sat me down there and left.
So tanin na be siari molbe la hajol topoto kanje mol katambina lo modoli enjeje.
There was coming in and out of people, and some people who knew me saw me there.
Mbije romo fula fintina na bundo kono inatantara salo ento isita sira waninka.
I was there. After some time, 2 individuals came from inside and sat there with me.
Yes, please go ahead.
If I introduce Nyeko Doka Tomu Sol Bagileti about a state house, state guard commander.
They introduced themselves. One said he was Sol Baji from the state house.
Doka Tomu Atobotan Konale and Akondomu Gajagaleti.
The other one, I've forgotten his name, but the surname is
NIA director at the state house.
But his surname is Gajaga, and he was the NIA director at the state house. They said that Yaya sent them to come to me to ask me what happened. He took a recorder, put it on, and put it in between us.
Which Yaya sent them?
Yaya Jumaleki.
Yaya
Jammeh.
Yaya Jammeh, former president of the Gambia.
Proceed, please.
And then?
He put the recorder down and asked me. He said, Yaya sent us to come and ask you what happened. I explained everything to him. What I said there, what I did there, I told him exactly what happened. He sprang up, took the recorder, and put it off. He turned and said to his colleague,
Traffic offense.
Traffic offense.
What is that doing at the State House until the president have to handle the file? Okay, traffic offense. What come in the State House for President from Marala or Kaitwala?
Said traffic offense. What business has it got to do with the State House to the extent that the president is even getting involved?
Is handling the dossier, is handling the case file. Proceed.
Anyway.
When they said that, they looked at each other and then they said, anyway. Said, we are going to write our report and we will release you. They got up. Before they got up,
did you tell them you were tortured?
Yes, yes. Everything that happened, in fact,
whatever, all the things that happened.
So, yeah, numbers in case you need us.
So they wrote numbers and handed them to me and said in case I needed them.
Yeah, they put
that them between two of my fingers. They left.
The
guard came and collected me and took me, and I sat in front of Lisa's office. So there was a chair there.
But
at this stage, were you aware that Sol Baji was in fact the commander of the junglers?
Not at all, because if you knew him personally, that was the first time I'm seeing him.
State Guard commander.
If not for the introduction that he told me that when they were inside with Liz Gomez, they came out and they emphasized the statement they made earlier on that they were going to release me.
After some time, Liz
called me inside
through a guard.
The guard took me there.
Doctor, we have nothing against you. I'll let you go home.
He said to me, Doctor, we don't have anything against you. I'll let you go. And that was his statement.
We have nothing against you. I'll let you go home.
We have nothing against you. I will let you go home.
Okay, but
I said to him, but you know me very well. Where I was detained, I have done nothing wrong to warrant that. To warrant being locked in this place. He said, no. As for now, I called the guard and told him to take me to the guard room. That was how they took me downstairs to the guard room. I spent the remainder of the day there.
4 days, na family I was held in Comunicado.
I was there for 4 days and my family did not know where I was. I was held in Comunicado.
Access to treatment la.
I did not have access to my treatment.
Access to lawyer la.
I did not have access to a lawyer.
Access to na family la.
I did not have access to my family.
For banna salo la astagfirullah sunkar salo.
After the corrective prayers, the very day or the day after, it's been a long time and I'm careful not to say something that is not true. I had a stomach upset. When I was home, the medicine that I used to use frequently, I had put it on the table. That was not in the vehicle. I told them to check into my bag. I checked there, but it was not there. I started to vomit. And they were worried.
I need to talk to my people.
I told them that I need to talk to my people. So that they will know what is happening. That was when they called Liz. Liz told them to give me back my phone, and I called people.
He's late now. Bakarin Dembo Sonko.
Abandoned
some time back.
He's late now, some time ago.
When
he came, I undressed. Right together.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I am
because the state of my body that he saw. We cried together. He said to me, well, now that I know you are here, if God wills it, you will leave this place.
But not now understand after covering Infinita.
What I came to understand later after I was released.
For some personnel of the NIA.
That some personnel of the NIA.
Well, they had found one poor distance from the case. Because that
they want him to distance himself from the case because he was the one involved in this case.
So for 14 days.
So I was in that detention like that for 14 days.
Well, on Friday,
I heard it been said, we are the Ceesay.
God's will kaya ko Ceesay Juma kaya member detaining. Because at the time, for almost 10 days, lunkilin ne musudo sammananje iko waleka baba jobla musola.
Because at that time I was the only one in detention there for only for 10 days. It was one day that one lady was brought in. They said the lady was the one transacting the allowance for Baba Job's wife with the Libyans.
So they said to
him, Ceesay is here. They opened the door and I came out. He said to me, I came to pick you. I said, where are you taking me to? He said his name was Lamin Ceesay. And I said to him, where are you taking me to?
Serious crime.
He said to me, serious crime.
Okay.
I said to him, okay.
Information on documents or data from the NIA.
I took my information, all my documents from the NIA. He said to me, where is your vehicle? And I told him it is here, and he told me, start the engine.
But I
was not lucky to take my vehicle because the tire was punctured. We went into his vehicle. That NIA boy who came to arrest me alongside Liz called Ibu Sanyang.
Weighing escort again with this Lamin Ceesay to serious crime.
He escorted me alongside Lamin Ceesay to the serious crime.
After serious crime, what was Juma Salo man jump for back almost the 12 months.
When we arrived there, the Friday time for Friday prayers, it was just after 12.
commissioner Mimbeji.
We went upstairs. As we got into the office, the commissioner who was there.
Ceesay kayako, Lamin Ceesay kayako. Yes, sir. I compliment Akaya Felenti. Akaya Jumalanyenta Akaya Ceesay.
Lamin Ceesay complimented him and told him, and he said to him, "Who is this guy?" And he told him, "This is Ceesay."
Ceesay Jumaka Mimbeji NIA. In a case, Manfutantola Makamoto. Ya Bondidama Sendiji.
He said to him, "I told you, his case is beyond our ability. Our level. Return him back to where you have taken him from." When I heard this thing, I knew this was things we are getting into turned out to be a very serious matter.
Become foolish.
Become very foolish.
The
commissioner asked me, "What's your name?" And I said, "Lang Ceesay." He said to me, "What happened?" I wanted to explain. He told him, "Come and collect this guy and take him to the Abuko station."
So one night I fuel coupon or do drive all.
He came, gave myself, that individual, and the NIA escort.
That Abuko station.
We went to the Abuko station. When we arrived, it was just past 1 p.m.
Okay, hand over. It will say now.
They handed me over and they.
Statement.
He told one officer to take my statement.
I start.
He started.
I
After some time, he placed down the pen. He said, "I will not do this against anyone. Every time you are writing things and just..." I was the one that wrote my own statement. Friday prayer time came and I went and performed my prayers. All of us prayed at the mosque and we returned back together.
Commissioner called Bundum Station.
That was when the SO called the commissioner at Bundum Station.
And
told him that Ceesay is here, I want to bring him along. He told him, "Bring him." He said to him, "But there is no own vehicle, and bring him."
I drive to Bundum Station.
That was when he took his own private vehicle and drove me to the Bundum Station.
I hand over when he Lansaro Manjam Fanyola Ndata Sali Nata.
When we arrived, he handed me over. It was just around 5 p.m. 5 p.m.
After Janimbita Salola, Wokonyeko, Mokumandibang, I need bail.
But before I went for the 5 p.m. prayers, someone said to me, call someone to come and bail you. All worried here, the soldiers, NIA, police, we are all scattered, here trying to look for you. They said you attempted a coup d'etat and you ran away.
Then, I went
and prayed, came back, and it coincided with the arrival of these other people.
That Friday.
My bail was prepared and I went home that Friday.
So who accused you of making a coup d'etat and running away?
Well, among moto fonye passe.
He did not say identify anyone per se. But he just said to me that they said you attempted a coup d'etat and ran away.
Yeah.
Yes.
To whom was that statement made? To who were you reported to have?
Commissioner. The Commissioner B Division. B Division.
The Commissioner B Division.
Said you were accused of a coup d'etat.
Right.
Did he tell you to whom was that accusation made? Did it reach Yaya Jammeh?
That I wanted to stage a coup d'etat against Yaya Jammeh.
But was Yaya Jammeh informed?
Your information will tell. That was why I file about the phone.
That was the information they gave him, which was why he had my file with him.
But this is something you don't know. This is just hearsay.
Na detention o wato be molo num foka be from station o tole yo fonyi.
During the
Na belo kola.
cause of my detention, I did not know. But when I got to the station, after the bail, I got the information.
When you were interviewed by Gajaga and Sol Baji, did they...
Abay tolo manki bar dinte. Na manke ya kaytol min dinna. Anin ka fonyo ko na kayto be ya fon bulu.
They took information from me, but they did not give me any information apart from the paper they gave me, and also to tell me that my file was with Yajame.
From that interview with Sol Baji and Gajaga, did you have anything to suggest to you that they suspected you of having been involved in a coup d'etat?
O ñinin karol ni jabiro men dambe ni Gajaga ni Sol Baji tema fok fennata ne sondo mo kono ba memba tabi sabatin le sondo mo kono
How come fang?
I did not even think of that.
For all intents and purposes, it was still about this cattle and the obstruction.
Assault.
And the assault.
Hamo aning la miro be mem sira ja be tata nada wala nisi kuoti.
Ani ebo enka men kenka woda ma wole bente ko kono no.
The cattle and the attack that they did to me, that was what was in my mind.
And was that the only subject of the interview?
Yes.
So this issue about you being involved in a coup d'etat, that was something that was later.
Yes. I
came to know that later.
All right. Proceed, please.
You be report on bail on Monday.
When I was leaving, he told me you report on bail on Monday.
Jumale case report jang.
Then I asked him, who reported this case here that I attempted a coup d'etat? He said, Pabojang.
I mean, mentioned him before, ko atil tambita team follow nyato minata kantocho.
He was the one I named here earlier, that he led the team that came to torture me.
Okay, at a residency Malombang.
I said, well, but do you know where he resides? He said he does not know.
Okay, a friend nata because it's a common person to me. Nata hadamaya nte
because he was someone that I knew. Later on, I mounted my own investigations to try to know who Pabojang was.
I think he works with the TRRC here.
One of my colleagues was, I think he works with the TRRC, Lamin Mane. He said to me that
Pabojang
is a friend of a friend with whom they work together. The boy that was circumcised is working with the
boy the child that is circumcised, his father works with Pabojang, and he is his cashier.
Okay.
Then okay, what a problem to Purkawaji.
He said to me it would not be a problem to see him.
So after
I relaxed for a short while,
was Sajaje. That guy's name is Saja Kamara.
I went to see that Saja Kamara
with my friend Lamin.
My friend Lamin.
Then Saja called Pabojang. That was on Saturday. Saja Pabojang called Akayako.
Saja called Pabojang and said to him,
"Ye unka doctor mi nyini wolung suit wala womna doctor ti de les ngayim case ngayim fa ngayim ko fa."
That doctor we were looking for the other night is my doctor. Let's terminate this case.
Okay. Pabojang kai okay mfele kanilai. Baje ila garden kafuku lemba. Nyanda so sambala woleje nimbenta jensa ko discuss that Sunday.
He said he was coming to either Kitty or C4 because he was taking cattle to one of the women groups there, and that if he came on that Sunday, we could meet there and discuss.
Did you meet him on the appointed date?
Amanke.
It never happened.
Did you subsequently get to meet him?
Yeah.
We have to.
Yes, I want to correct. Naranata Paboja Mitle.
We eventually went to meet Pabojang.
I promised Diko Nimbe report la bail next Obata la case in Fata.
He gave a promise that by the next time I would report for bail, that would have the time that
in case
this case of yours.
Coming for Ninka order means of Santo man killing.
What you are telling me and the order I'm getting from up above is not the same, but I will do my work.
Kana hani Simfanya Nasindila Doko and Telakuba Alabul.
I told him, do your work. I leave my things are in the hands of God. So do not be negligent in your work, any bit.
Na correspondence do fananta mbarindima do bije telemnu youth leader tinu APRC.
One of my nephews was a youth leader with the APRC.
Kafay Modou Ndiaye.
Called Modou Ndiaye.
Ufanan pada Pabojang yin kafta bake.
He is very close to Pabojang.
Abro ufane case yin ko kalamuta konya no Pabojang would not be a problem.
When he got to know about the case, he said to me, Pabojang would not be a problem.
Nate fanantata je that de margin akonyo ko intebina murla ngaje. Akonyo sisilang hakil tong ko so case
I went together with him to Pabojang, but we could not meet him. But he said to me he will return back to meet him. But he told me to calm down and stop worrying.
Because what
I used to report every Monday and Friday to the extent that I was given a warning letter at my place of work.
All right, so atata Pabojang meet.
He eventually met Pabojang.
Pabojang kayako, this case is beyond me now.
Pabojang said to him, this case is beyond me now.
So unko to me mintarla nyato si ojibe.
Well, I said, well, whatever we are going to meet ahead of us, we'll get to know.
The next report on bail, data report on bail ko take wrong.
As I went to report on bail again,
prosecutor konyoko Sijang.
The prosecutor said to me, sit here. I sat there.
After 1 hour,
for
some reasons, I don't know.
I called to my place of work and informed them that I am detained here for some time and I do not know for what reasons.
Prosecutor you are going to court today.
The prosecutor came out with some files with one other individual and they told me that today you are going to court. I said it's good.
I'm going to court. I may not come early today.
I called to my office again and informed them that I was going to court and that I will not come to early today. They took me to a place where there were two chambers. Judge came. Magistrate. Since we were acquainted to each other, we just held each other like this, and he said to me, what happened? And before I started explanation, he told me, let me go and undress and come back. Before he came back, they said to me, Ceesay, come here. They transferred me to another chamber.
Okay, prisoners bench.
I went inside and I went on my own and sat on the prisoners' bench.
He was puzzled.
When our eyes locked, he was puzzled.
Because he's
my younger brother, he's a loved one, and he's someone that I have a very good rapport with. As we were there, our case was called. One boy stood up and said that I knocked him with a vehicle.
In fact, a lot of men from prosecutor of Fanka,
he stood and could not speak. It was a prosecutor who said to him, did you know?
Sorry, but before all this, did you later have a discussion with the magistrate to indicate to him what the charges were against you, or what the allegations were against
you? Yes.
Case la call follow caller.
After the first, the case was called for the first time, I went to him, to his home.
Konye ngoto mamune keda ko kamingi yesirim prisoners bench confirm feje muntu male nye prononce to fire samba prison.
He said to me, my elder brother, what's the matter? When I saw you sitting on the prisoners bench, I said to myself, what has this guy done? And when I was with Lamin Mane.
Akonye njakal telephone.
He said I was surprised.
Ka wala nte nga situation no explain ko nga ko mo sutani ka ni sol la alhara konye in fact yewle kente fawla wolu nga konye nte be ni si rango normal no be koma rango jam fata na case file be mbulu nyante review la janni be sitting shot la sama.
So just to and he said to me that that situation also happened to him. He was behind a row of cattle and he had case files which he was trying to rush to deliver.
Kwenye kabiringa mfutata silo kuntutada menga the other lenta egesen the cattle.
He said when I got to where there was a cross junction and I took the other lane to avoid the cattle.
Kwenye mfutatela tolu kantarla la wato minato inyapitana moto nyato iliyotana moto nyato and stop.
He said as soon as I got to where the herders were, they pounced on my vehicle and they stopped me.
Kwenye ko murukoma.
They told me to reverse back.
Konye bari natajibe ko nga judiciaire moto le bembulu ani mfana ngandres nyamen ikonye teta.
But after they realized that I was driving a judiciary vehicle and the manner that I was dressed, they asked me to proceed.
What was the outcome?
Itolubuka na labangola magistrate konye ko ye muro bondile mo silandi ya mo fitnandi muro la ko ba threatening violence dali labantan charge la wala.
They were not coming to present themselves during the courts. But in the end, the magistrate said to me, "You took a knife and you threatened someone." And that you have been found wanting on that aspect. We are going to fine you, or you'll spend this amount of time in prison.
What was the fine?
Sanji killing wara 5,000.
1 year or 5,000. But then he asked me, "Do you have anything to plead to the court?"
patient HIV patient directly
I told him I am a medical personnel and during the 14 days of my detention I have lost 12 patients who are HIV patients.
How did you lose them?
No, they died at the clinic. They were going for this presidential treatment and then and they were not able to cope up.
They went for the president's treatment.
Could you give us a list of those? Not now. Later, give us a list of all those people who died. They died in the PATP, you said?
No, at my clinic, at German clinic, yes.
But they were part of the PATP?
Right.
All right, and they died?
Yes.
When they died, were they still part of the PATP?
No, they gave up. Came back for the RTV, retroviral treatment.
So they gave up on the PATP and came back for antiretroviral. But they couldn't make it?
They couldn't.
What do you say about the presidential treatment program? Did it work for the patients you met or did not?
No. Eating of the meat and eating bananas. Other than that, there is no other benefit. There is no benefit in terms of cure.
Yeah. All right. So, and then what happened?
Council, I think it's important for us to get that list from him.
Yes.
Notwithstanding the fact that they had left him at the program already.
Yes, we will get the list.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then what happened after that?
When I made that plea, then he wrote down something and said, "You will pay 1,000 or spend a month in prison." So I and Mane went and paid the 1,000 and we were issued a receipt. And that was the end of the case.
What did you do after that?
I went to my clinic.
Nintu babombe do ko la nkumandi santa konye langa konye man safe jang.
The European that I was working, or the white man that I was working with, said to me, called me upstairs and said to me, Lang, it's not safe for you to be here.
Akonye bifa mo nata jang ngalo ne ko manke sasa toti they were asking for you.
He said today people came here, they were asking for you, but I know that these are not people who are sick.
Konye mbatunga 15 days holiday dila ngejo kodola ye finti domandi rest.
He said to me, let me give you a 15-day holiday and pay you some money so that you can go and rest.
So that
was what I did. I went home, left there some money.
Then I
went to Senegal.
And for how long did you remain in Senegal?
Senegal for what did you do?
6.5 years.
6.5 years.
Why did you stay in for 6.5 years?
Mane sabu jareta puri tara mane membe Senegal bango sanji woro nimfeng.
Ko bin tambital halo min kono andu lungo min nam bota jang on the 5th of November.
Because of the experience I have gone through, and the day that I left here on the 5th of November, that day I was informed that people came to look for me at home in the night.
So
to save my life and also to put the mind of my family members at rest. I left the country so that I can have peace of mind.
And how did all this impact your life?
The difficulties it brought me are many. Lack of peace of mind alone. The families is scattered. Their education was retarded. I was there with a woman who got pregnant in my absence.
One of my daughters got impregnated, teenage pregnancy, which is not our desire. And
while I was away, he was the one who was running things and helping with the family sustenance. In fact, the day that he died, I called him that morning.
Because I
was working with some people who made a payment, so he was to go and receive the balance. I called him and told him that these people said that he should go and collect the balance. And he said, okay, and I gave him the number. I left Kaolack, going to Tambakunda. I got to Kafrin around 11. I called him and he said he has spoken to them and that they had asked him to go there around 11 to pick it.
After 1 kata 2 kang.
When I got to Tamba, between 1 and 2, I prayed and relaxed for some time. Around 4, they called to say that he drowned.
That was the end of him.
That was the end of him.
Impact, very negative impact because abota fele drong the incidents in Keta so akatu barala akilo manten kuno buruna tata fere and in dinding full toddler soul anyone on a very risky road.
That caused serious implication on the mom because after that happened, she used to have these frights. So that led me to try for her and the 2 kids who were toddlers to make a risky journey to join me where I was in Senegal. They went to Basse through Wiringara. And I went and picked them up.
When did you return to Gambia?
2017, end of 2017,
I think around end of 2017.
No further questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Council, and thank you, Mr. Ceesay, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Kiaman ko inumarabake council inumarabake Mr. Ceesay memusero ti ila sedan roto komisa wanyati.
Again, we sympathize with you for the sufferings that you endured in the hands of agents of the state.
Ko haninga bi balafa be kan koleya laymentaki na bankola tanko bunda do bural bulo kono.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate.
Commissioner ninga tramomo nyinin karo so sedo isa itandi.
If not, if you have any remarks, closing remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Tembelaro commissioner moma soro men lafte nyinin kala silang kumo be bulu ninga tre kuma soro be lafle gela kumo da soro men na isi tenteng.
Be ala tentula don be commissioner yin tentula be banko ma sakunda fanan tentula.
Thank God, thank the commission and also the government of the day.
Ela hakili nyimma la kanyin nyong kafolondi pruka tonya fintindi moluka.
For their foresight in establishing this commission to unravel the truth for the good of the population. I also take this opportunity to clear my name because so many things have been said. People are saying, people are saying he has killed someone and he ran away. He killed he knocked and killed James cattle and ran away. He planned a coup d'etat and ran away. Many things have been said. But I'm saying to everyone that I have done nothing wrong. It was people who pounced on. But during the time of my detention, I came to realize that here in this country, nobody does not anything. It is people who get up on their own and report you, and then they come after you. Let's be very cautious with the way we deal with one another, and also to give everybody their right. Let us give peace a chance to thrive inside the country. That way is the security grouping that is here, ECOMIC. Let us be very careful with them and give them a chance so that peace will reign in the country. I am not saying that our security services cannot maintain peace in this country, but Africa beto wunno le kama fay bundama pour ye kafu moluma pour ka kairo sabatindi 15 ke wonyama hani. But the whole of Africa will not agree on one voice to create a security wing just for doing so sake. Aketo dlalle to ay jelu wati so wala nam fanam ba kala jasi jam fana wati alamare kairo kay banko kan ni muslim bankol be. Such moves have been done in other countries and it augured well for them, which is why it is also going to be done for this country and it will also augur well for the Gambia. I thank you all. My health situation is something that is also of interest to me. Anina muta wucho aka wucho minta okala fale sa abuka famanna fabanta na muta wucho nyisi tambi lundola. Before I used to experience the trouble intermittently, but after my detention the occurrences are more frequent than before. And so that is something that is worrying me, and I'm throwing out there my appeal for assistance. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ceesay. Again, we share your pain and the difficulties and the losses that your family endured.
Council
will take a 30-minute break. If that is okay, would the next witness be ready by then?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oh, good. Fine. We'll come back at 12:45. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
mooy jàmm kon ku ne sunu religion bi di ko dendaleeg leen lu dul jàmm ndax l'islam mooy jàmm d'abord di ñaan sunu borom bi mu defal leen jàmm ca fa ngeen nekk bu ñu demee nag ba nga xamee ni que l'islam ñëw na dafa am ku ko indi muy Seydina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam dëgg la way naa